What's up, Otaku fam? We are the Otaku Couple, back with more reactions here for the channel. Continue with more Gigguk. We have Devil as a Part-Timer, a McDonald's Isekai.
You know, it's funny. I started watching this, but I never finished it. I started watching it when it came out because my friend was like, "Oh, this would be the perfect anime for you. It just makes sense." And I was like, "Okay, hell yeah."
It's funny. I also watched the show when it first came out. And I remember thinking when I first started watching it, this is stupid. And then next thing you knew, I was like, I can't stop watching this. This is great.
Sounds like the shit I watch, like K-dramas.
It's a great time. We'll have to check it out sometime.
I love to.
Maybe it'll show up on a reaction poll where we react to anime and TV shows on our Patreon. Links are down below in the description if that interests you.
Like, was it Gigguk that we were watching where the little girl was like, "My father's Satan. That's my mom." Was that? Or did I just watch that on my own?
I don't know.
I might have watched it.
He did talk about this in one of his recent videos that we reacted to.
Because I thought that was funny.
Because I think it's getting confirmed it's getting another season or something like that. So it's finally coming back. It's a great series. Thank you guys for the continued support. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Every little bit helps us out. And let us know which of his videos we should react to next down below in the comments. And let's hop on in.
Also, we are going to do the Fate one. I just got to get my PowerPoint ready.
See, she wants to be mad about things that he says in that video, but she wants to know exactly what it is that she needs to be mad about.
Listen.
So we're waiting to record that one until she can give herself a little refresher. So don't worry. It might not come out this week. If anything, it'll come out next week, so be on the lookout for that. But we're finally going to give you guys what you've been asking for. So besides his Fate video, let us know what his videos of his.
Listen, I don't want to go on a random tangent. I want the tangent to have substance.
You can go on a tangent. I'll throw in some Phoenix Wright music, and we'll just let you just defend your case.
This video is sponsored by Crossing Voids Global. With how overdone and tired we all are of the isekai genre, as an anime fan it can often feel like you're drowning in a pit of the same recycled ideas, the same three protagonists being transported to the same fantasy world, and if, like me, you've had multiple conversations with other anime fans over this exact topic, and at this point I'll be amazed if you haven't, on the odd occasion you'll meet that one pompous git who thinks they're being all original, being like, "You know what would be cool? What if, instead of a normal guy being transported to a fantasy world, we reverse it and have fantasy characters being transported to our world? Ha! I bet no one's ever thought of that idea before! Ha! Ha ha! Nope. The Devil is a Part-Timer is one of those shows that seems to keep coming up in conversation every now and then, even though on the surface it seems like one of those disposable seasonal anime everyone should have forgotten by now. But every so often some bozo will still come along and say, "Hey, remember Devil is a Part-Timer? Do you still think there's a chance we'll get a season 2? Before awkward silence fills the room as you then proceed to hear someone else burst out crying in No Game No Life. It's a show that...
See, yeah, that's the thing. So I think it was the, whatever the last Anime in a Nutshell video was that he did. He talked about it. That got confirmed for a season 2 now, I think. So awesome. At least that part about this, we're getting a season 2. So don't worry, man. Don't worry.
To die in the hearts of many, and having just rewatched it, I can't help but think that this is a series that would resonate with audiences even more today than when it initially aired, because it feels like a great answer to the current isekai landscape we are so used to. Right off the bat, it drops you into what appears to be the most bog-standard fantasy world plotline. You have a demon lord Satan who's trying to take over the world of Ente Isla, only to be thwarted by the legendary hero Amelia.
References. We've reacted to all of his anime in minutes videos. There'll be a playlist linked up somewhere right here, but oh, so good.
That one. In desperation, he and one of his loyal generals escapes through a portal to another world, only to find themselves in modern-day Japan, where they walk around, try to speak the language, and get hit by a truck. Not really, but that would have been pretty funny. In a world with limited magic and no...
Can you imagine a reverse isekaiing by Truck-kun?
That would be awesome.
That would be wild.
I would watch the hell of that show.
A way to get back, their only choice is to try and survive in this world by integrating themselves into society, starting by earning money and getting a part-time job in McDonald's. Which, you can guess, is an obvious parody of the global fast food powerhouse you should all know. That's right, McDonald's. It's the story of a demon lord who gets transported to the human world, where he works a normal part-time job and tries to climb the corporate ladder to become King of the McNuggets, Lord of the Fries, aiming for that Employee of the Month spot by ensuring that this is the only McDonald's branch in existence with a fully functioning milkshake machine. If you
Bro, if you did, that would be your best selling point.
No, but seriously, can we talk about, like, let's just take a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hong Kong,
Mm-hmm.
their McDonald's, so on point.
Right.
And they had ice cream.
Yeah.
Because everything works in Hong Kong.
Right.
It was amazing.
Well, when things don't work in Asia, it breaks the news.
Yeah.
Did you hear that story about the transit in Japan that was not, it was once, like, I think it was like less than 30 seconds early, and it made the news because that was a no-no. That's how efficient they are.
They are on time.
Yeah.
Our buses did not run on that same.
If you've taken public transportation, like the bus system, and you live here in the States, then you know the struggles. I used to take public transportation for my first 2 jobs.
It was bad.
And sometimes the buses didn't show up.
Yeah.
Forget about being late. You'd see the little time, like, all right, it'll be here around this time. Cool. We get past that. The next time that the bus will show up, that bus shows up. Where the fuck was the other bus? You guys just circle around. What happened?
That's how it was for us, because I think the bus was like 10 minutes late, but you have to think that for us to get to the building, it was 30-minute drive.
Mm-hmm.
And Hong Kong traffic, crazy, for one. But, you know, Scat's kind of a little prissy with their tardies. It's like, you have everybody, the entire school, coming in 15 minutes late because we have no way of transportation.
Hell yeah.
And just frantically flocking. But yeah, that McDonald's,
Tangent
they
aside.
had a German burger.
Showed this to someone
German
today, they'd
burger?
probably get isekai culture shock. It seems like the perfect reply to the tropes we see in this saturated era of fantasy world isekai, but of course this came out just as the isekai boom was starting. And unlike a lot of recent attempts I've seen that have tried to parody the genre, it's genuinely entertaining and funny. One of the biggest things I've seen that's irked me recently is when anime has tried satirizing itself. Every so often you'll find this moment in the show that thinks it's being clever and funny when it tries to make a joke by calling attention to this trope you're used to seeing in anime, like, hey look, a naked tsundere in front of me, guess I'm about to get punched and killed. Oh well, wouldn't it be funny if I didn't punch you? Wait, you're not gonna punch me? Yeah, I'm not. Oh wow, I guess that is pretty funny, isn't it? This is funny. The entire joke is just them discussing that, you know, that thing that normally happens in anime? Well,
We're not
that
gonna
thing
do
you
that.
thought was gonna happen isn't actually gonna happen.
How very like a light novel. That does not make your show clever. It doesn't.
So clever.
Not anymore. Not every other show does it, so it's not really clever anymore.
It's not creative.
Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, no, that way.
Gotta step it up, guys.
Like Carl.
Bring this up because while the plot description can make the devil as a part-timer seem like an attempt to satirize the current isekai landscape, it never feels like it's actively trying to do so, because it's not. This is a 6-year-old show that came out before there was established tropes to parody, yet viewing it today, it ironically does a better job at subverting these cliches than 90% of these so-called funny meta moments that actively make an effort to do so. It isn't funny because it's calling attention to all these tropes we are used to seeing in isekai flipped, it's just a very funny situation the characters find themselves in. And they react in a comedic way, but ultimately stay in character. The jokes aren't them explaining the joke, there's an actual punchline. What works is the sheer ridiculousness of the premise, wherein we're used to seeing a normie otaku protagonist doing fuck all with his life, arriving in Middle-earth for some high-stakes world-saving quest. Here, the stakes are reversed, and we get to see a world-conquering demon lord just dealing with the sheer terror that is our mundane, normal, daily grind. It's the classic fish out of water scenario with a reverse fantasy twist, and yet somehow, compared to what we see today, still feels oddly refreshing. And
yeah, exactly. That's a great way of putting it. It's literally just it's not trying to be more than what it is. It's exactly what it is, and it works. Like it's by no means like the greatest anime of all time, but if you just wanted something on in the background, it's a great anime for that. I mean, it's
like humor.
You can glance up at the screen every now and then, and you'll probably find something to laugh at. It's a good time, but it's not trying to be your favorite isekai. It's just a good time.
And this has helped with a great dynamic between the cast members. Sadao, Amelia, Ashia, Chiho, Lucifer. It isn't just the fact that the devil is working at a fast food restaurant, it's the fact that the cast retains the same dynamics you'd expect in an epic fantasy story while having to keep it up in a modern setting. Mao's accompanying general, Ashia, tries to remain loyal to him throughout, serving him in any way possible. But of course there's no realms for him to control or armies to command, so he serves him the best way he knows how. As a stay-at-home housewife. Then there's Amelia, who has to deal with the internal conflict of finally confronting the all-powerful demon lord she spent her entire life fighting, only to find that he's actually a normal, hard-working guy, unsure if he'll one day turn again, and has to maintain her world-saving hero status while holding a telesales job. It's a balance that just gives the cast some great chemistry when it comes to the comedy without making anything feel forced. Like,
can you imagine being a knight of renown and then you're a telemarketer?
No. I would not want that in life.
Of all things. I mean, like, my boy's working at a McDonald's, but you're working telemarketing? Yeah. I feel worse for you than I do for him.
We don't like
the commander's got the best. He just gets to stay at home and clean and cook.
He's a housewife.
Exactly. He's got it easy. Compared to the other two.
Right?
A lot of people may see Amelia as your typical tsundere, but given the context, it does make sense why her attitude towards Mao is so cold. And also, I like tsunderes. I don't know why I said that. I didn't really have anything else to add to that point.
Really? You like tsunderes? I couldn't tell from 90% of your content.
Maybe you love.
Yeah, and I don't hide it. Do y'all see who I'm dating? This is peak tsundere right here.
Speaking of Amelia, she herself is a playable character in today's sponsor, Crossing Void Global, and I just want to take a second to talk about that.
Cool,
Crossing Void Global is an all-star turn-based RPG.
I see you at the clean sponsor. Okay. Transition into the sponsor was nice. I'll give it. Okay. I'll give it to you. Good job. Good
Updates
shit.
and events. If this sounds like something for you, click the link below to download it on iOS or Android. Getting back to The Devil is a Part-Timer though, it's fairly safe to say that if that's all there was to the series, it would surely get dull. I've seen enough anime that have tried to live off of one running joke alone, and the literal devil getting outrageously fired up and motivated about selling special peppered fries can only go so far. Thankfully, it does have a semblance of a plot, with the fantasy world they came from still having a role to play in the overarching story. The war between the devil and humans never technically ended, and in between the fast food joints you have a few arcs focusing on characters from the fantasy world trying to come and kill the devil as they always have. It's a great mixture of unique comedy with a fantasy action backbone to keep you on your toes, and most importantly, keep you entertained. Having events interspersed with greater consequence not only makes the show more interesting, but allows the characters to grow and evolve as the series goes on. Of course, while I am throwing a lot of praise, if there was one big downside to this series, is that there isn't really much more to say about it. It was a nice little fun series that said its piece then ended, and by ended, what I mean is that it didn't really end. It just woke up the next day, snuck out while you were still sleeping, and didn't even leave a number for you to contact it by.
Pretty much. Yeah, but that's like what I was saying earlier. I mean, it's the show. It's not trying to be anything other than what it's advertised as. It's literally the devil working as a McDonald's employee. That's all there is to the show. Didn't really go anywhere super fantastical or anything like that. Maybe season 2 will be even, we'll do something super wonky with it, but it really just was what it was.
They're going to be like, we got to step up our game after all the new bomb-ass animes coming out.
While I enjoyed the series, there's nothing I can really point to say, wow, this was really amazing. But most of that is because it didn't really have the time to properly hit its stride or establish itself. Just as you feel the plot starts progressing and the characters have a chance to develop, the curtains close and an announcement comes on saying,
alright, that's all folks, show's over, you can fuck off home now.
That's how I feel about Noragami.
Security, can someone shoot that man, please? Thank you.
This is a show that has been stuck in
We
sequel
don't
limbo
like
for years, and
cliffhangers.
it doesn't really make sense because it was the third best-selling light novel of that year, and before I just checked, I had no idea that it was the 55th most popular anime on my anime list, putting it above Mob Psycho 100, Madoka, K-On!, and JoJo. What the fuck? The demand was definitely there, so I can't shake this feeling that it might have just come out a bit before its time, because I believe that if it did actually come out today, with season 2 and 3 announcements coming out from anime big and small, sometimes even right after a show is finished, on top of the sheer abundance and popularity of Isekai being released now, there's no way it wouldn't have gotten another season.
Well, it's getting one now.
The Devil is a Part-Timer is a short, fun little package that didn't overstay its welcome, but we would definitely welcome more of it. Recently, I've had a lot of fun going back to watch these older, incomplete shows I'd forgotten about, because now there's just an abundance of new manga chapters and light novels that can finally fill that void I felt when they initially aired. And I think The Devil is a Part-Timer has been one series I've enjoyed even more revisiting than when I first watched it. Back when this first aired, I kinda just took it at face value as this entertaining little fantasy show. I don't think I'd even heard of the word isekai back then, and apparently I now have to say it every other sentence by law, which is why I think it's a show I can appreciate even more now, and right now I can definitely recommend this as the perfect time to go revisit it. And if you've never seen it before, well, that's all the more reason to, because I think it says a lot about the current environment when I can say to you, hey, want a genuinely fun twist on the isekai genre that feels way more original than 90% of the attempts coming out now? Here's this half-decade-old anime.
Alright, I'm taking that off because last time I left in a song that he put in here, I got clapped.
Video?
Right. It's cool. It's fine. She's done.
I do kind of want to go back and revisit it. I don't even remember what episode I stopped on.
Who knows? It might end up on a poll one day for us to react to over on the Patreon.
To be honest, I don't remember anything about it.
That's perfectly fine.
I don't remember. That's like K-On! I started watching K-On! And I really liked it, but I just stopped.
It happens.
Yeah. Because I remember I was watching it one time and my dad walked in and he was making fun of me for watching anime for one. And then, like...
As he does.
Some old school song came on that they were singing and performing and Japanese. And he was like, whoa, they're doing that song? I was like, yeah. And he's like, that's awesome. And he walked away.
Sounds like Mark.
Yeah. So... remember that.
Well, guys, be sure to let us know down below in the comments section what you think of Devil is a Part-Timer and which of his videos we should react to next. Not the Fate one. It's on the list. As soon as she's ready, we'll react to it, probably next week. So other than that video, let us know what you want us to react to next, and we will catch y'all in the next video. Bye.